Welcome, my friends, to another special episode of Winning Mealtime. My name is Chris Yang. I'm joined with my very good friend, Morgan McGlone. We're going to do another recipe for you here right now. Another whole animal.
Yes.
A whole fish. Because this is something that your son loves to eat.
Every week. Every week I have to do the fish tofu. He just calls it fish tofu. And it's something that I can pre-prepare in the day, go out and do my errands, pick him up from daycare, have it back, and within 40 minutes, it's on the table.
Yeah. It's a really nice thing to serve your kid.
Absolutely.
Fish, tofu, super proteins and like something really delicious, a whole animal, and like it is kind of like a little hacky, like it's because like you can actually do it in 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'm literally going to show you how I prepare it, and I have it there from the morning. I cover it over, but like I get back, goes in the tray, stayed in the steamer, and it's done.
All right, so you rubbed this plate with sesame oil, it looks like.
I have cilantro.
You wanted to call it coriander.
Yeah, I had to think again.
I
had to go back to my.
You wanted to call it.
I had to go back to my.
You had a code switch for us.
Spring onion, ginger, garlic, tofu, firm tofu. That's a good choice. Sesame oil, mushroom, a little bit of MSG.
Here's the other thing, Morgan. You did ask me for mushroom soy and white soy, which is
white soy, yeah.
Shiro shoyu.
Yeah, shoyu.
But it's like a little bit of a specialty ingredient.
Yeah, I mean, I just have it in there, and I know he doesn't want the full kind of like Kikkoman sort of intensity of soy. He's still like battling soy sometimes, I guess, the how intense the flavor can be. And sometimes Shaoxing wine, but it's okay.
You got Shaoxing wine. You want some Shaoxing wine?
Yeah, I always put it on top. Yeah, if we can have a little.
Excuse me. You hold down the fort here. Let me get you some Shaoxing wine.
So I'm just gonna like literally take a little bit of this ginger and just cut a little like fine julienne with that. It's kind of nice.
Let me clear you out here a little bit.
It's nice sort of for the flavor. This will go on top of the fish, and sometimes we.
So I said in our chicken video.
Yep.
That Morgan is one of the great chefs, wine people. What do you guys call it? Wine
sommeliers.
Personal hero to me. Speaks numerous languages, 4 languages: English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese.
Portuguese, yeah.
Do you speak like Portuguese or Brazilian Portuguese?
Brazilian Portuguese, yeah. I lived in Brazil, so yeah.
He used his Brazilian Portuguese to save my life on a
Chris was
drunken night.
Chris was going down a dark path, and I pulled him out of danger.
I'll never forget it, and I'll never be able to pay him back.
He felt like some fruit. You wanted to buy some fruit. He just wanted to buy some fruit.
I can't even tell this story. But he is also one of the people I trust most in the world in knowing what is delicious and where to find good stuff, man. And like Chinese food in Australia is so good.
Yeah, we like
better in Melbourne than in Sydney. True
no,
or false?
you know what? I mean, I
better in Sydney.
Like, there's a better like Flower Drum is one of the best restaurants I've. You know, you go to Flower Drum and it's better than some restaurants and even in Hong Kong.
We don't have restaurants like we don't have that kind of thing in America, honestly. Like
when I was a cook in Charleston, they said they're going to take me for Chinese food, and they took me to Panda Express, and I was just like, "What? What? What?"
Yeah, we don't have like the fine dining Chinese that isn't like.
Yeah.
We have like modern Chinese.
Yeah, for sure.
But we don't have Chinese served in fine dining.
Absolutely.
But so that's what Melbourne has. But you think overall,
I think overall Sydney has better Chinese food, and now we have a massive influx of mainland students, mainland Chinese coming there. Obviously, they're there for work or moving there, and 2 Sundays every month. We'll get a bunch of friends together, and we'll all go for we call it yum cha, but it's called dim sum here. And we'll do that. That's a normal thing.
The yum cha culture in Sydney is huge.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's my son will. That's what he knows. Like he loves
That's
going
crazy.
there.
I remember walking into a yum cha restaurant in Sydney by myself one day, hungover, and just seeing all of these. Like it was just like a college brochures, like people of every race hanging out in this restaurant, and I was like, oh, this is gonna suck because like you know what I mean? You gotta go to like this place with just Chinese.
There's Caucasians here.
There's too many white people in here, and then it was awesome.
the yum cha restaurants of Australia, they've never like had to conform to change their culture for us. So I've been going to yum cha since I was an apprentice. So it wasn't something that I had when I was really young. My son's been going since he was born.
What are his favorites?
He likes hagao, but he doesn't like the wrapper. So we have to always order, and like hagao in Australia is like $4.85 for 3.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
It gets up there.
I know.
It's like a 5 hagao.
Do you eat the wrappers?
I have to eat the wrapper.
Yeah, I know.
I have to eat the wrapper.
My son will order, he likes xiaolongbao, he likes soup dumplings. Yeah. But he's the same thing. He doesn't want the wrapper. You know this? You know who would never do this? My parents would never do this. This is the shit that I do for my guy. I will bite off the top of the wrapper. I'll pour the soup into a little spoon, like a Chinese soup spoon. He doesn't drink it like, if this is a Chinese soup spoon, like the big well and like the shorter handle. He doesn't drink it like this. I have to turn it around and give him like a little luge, like a little soup luge that he'll drink like this. That's step 1. Then I've got to take the wrapper off, take the little meat within, put it in the spoon, and then he eats that. And you know what I get to eat? Because they're also expensive. I got to order like 3 orders of this.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, we
I eat the skin, nothing else.
Yeah, you got to eat the skin. If you don't eat the skin, the aunties they'll go crazy.
They get mad.
They'll take the trolley and they'll just
they'll just avoid you.
You got to eat the skin. It's super important.
Dude, I haven't tasted it. I haven't tasted a soup dumpling in years, man.
Yeah, you got to do like when they're at school, go and have dim sum when they're at school. So like,
I know. Oh, that's right. That's the only.
So that's the only way you can do it.
Daytime lunch. Oh my god.
I guess with the way Rio's grown up now, I think he just understands. There's so many different cultures.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, he really loves going to yum cha. We also have like, obviously because there's right next door to it, there's this like arcade.
Oh,
so it's like a trade.
So he's loving all these cultures and all this cool stuff. And then but really, he likes the arcade.
He likes the arcade. So, but I mean, you know what it's like, man. You have to bargain. You have to buy. Like you have 5 of these dumplings. You eat something. We can go to the arcade for three games, which is
you're a hard ass.
Yeah, but it doesn't end up being 3 games. It ends up being way more than 3 games. So,
he's into tofu.
He just started eating it recently, which is so cool. I mean, I would love to say that we make our own, but we definitely do not.
No, well, you're a parent. You're making your own tofu. Are you crazy? If there's a parent who is making their own tofu, they have a dark secret, and I don't want to know about it.
So I'm just going to take some of this tofu. I've cut it into like little squares. And this is going to be basically our raft for the fish. And basically what it's going to do, it's going to like, I'll probably end up eating something like that. Because he's going to get all the fish. I've got to carve the fish for him. And I'm just going to eat the fishy tofu.
Oh my God.
Which is cool.
I'm glad to hear he eats fish though. Yeah, my daughter loves fish. My son doesn't trust it.
Yeah, he's definitely down with the fish. I'm going to take a little bit of this beautiful seasoning. So if I'm gonna eat that, I'm gonna make sure that tastes.
That's a little bit of our organic, artisanal monosodium glutamate.
So I have here, Chris. I have cilantro, green onion.
Every time.
Cilantro.
We have here cilantro,
ginger, green onion, and minced garlic. We'll take our fish. What do we got here today, Chris?
So this is a Thai, a little snapper.
Cool. A little snapper.
It's a little one.
That's perfect.
But I see whole fish more and more regular. Like when I was a kid, we had to go to the Chinese market to get it.
I'm gonna give this a quick rinse. I'm gonna make some really sort of incisions in here, so we can just check, and then it's easier to actually carve later.
Man, like a Chinese style steamed fish is my favorite thing in the world. But when I was a kid, we would microwave it. My mom would put it on like a little glass. Okay. No, because I mean I didn't know anything about it. Like now we do all this microwave stuff here, but I didn't know when I was a kid. I always like thought it was very hacky that they did it, but it's like it makes sense. It's just steaming.
Yeah, I mean it did.
But she would just wrap it in, I mean, this is the part that's not healthy. She would put it in like a glass bowl and then just wrap it in plastic wrap and stick it in the microwave for like a whole fish. Do you do this? Do you do like the hot oil on top?
Yes, always at the end.
So my mom would microwave the fish. My dad, who doesn't like fish because when he was a kid, I guess he choked on a fish bone. And has ruined him ever since. He would heat up some oil because they don't want like the splatter and the smell in the house. My mom would take the glass bowl of fish, go into the backyard, and my dad would, on the ground, would put oil on it. And I would just be sitting at the table waiting for my food to be brought back to me. So, all right, so stuffed it with some coriander, some garlic, some
coriander,
ginger.
some garlic. We're going to put it all around here so get some bit more flavor in there. I'm going to season the fish with some little bit of sesame oil. Just super easy. MSG. Quite a bit of that. Some white pepper, which is...
And so
funnily enough, he loves white pepper.
Really?
Oh, man. If I make him congee, which I make him congee sometimes, which is really, really easy with just a soy egg yolk. And then if I don't put white pepper on it, he thinks there's something wrong with it. Why haven't you put white pepper on there?
It's interesting. White pepper is not like a sharp, it's like a warming
it's
heat.
like a numbing sort of...
Yeah.
We're going to put some bit of garlic. He likes garlic. He's some ginger.
So the truth is, like this, all of these aromatics, like they flavor the fish, but really, the prize is the sauce that is like the fish juices, all the aromatics. That on rice is so delicious. And in Japan, I think they do like they'll just let that. So once all the fish, juices combined with the soy sauce, all these aromatics, the oil, like it sets up in the fridge.
Yeah.
Into like a gelée.
Yeah.
And then you can just scoop that jelly onto rice, which is like
and then
mind-blowing.
I've done sesame oil. I'm going to use some of this beautiful. Is this already ready to go? Okay. Just some motherfucking soy sauce. What would you say that's like? Oh, yeah. We're going to use a little bit of mushroom sauce, mushroom soy. And then a little bit of Shaoxing wine.
Talking my language.
You can actually taste the difference if you don't use the Shaoxing wine. I think it's like...
Oh, for sure.
It sort of... I don't know. It's definitely alcohol, right? Because it's a...
You can definitely taste the difference. And we didn't use Shaoxing wine in ours. And I remember watching, you were talking about Mr. Wong. And I remember watching Dan Hong, the chef there, steam it in Shaoxing wine.
And then I'm just going to cover this with green onion. Some people put the green onion later, but I think it builds a bit more flavor because this won't take more than, I think, 10, 12 minutes, I think.
This is just about like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life right here. Like, I'm just like...
You got the rice on?
I do. No joke. I was like, if he's going to steam a fish, I'm going to have rice. I did steam rice earlier.
We're going to go... So this is boiling now. Cool. And we're going to put this in.
So, by the way, if you don't have a steamer, I feel like people don't steam food if you're not Chinese.
Yeah, that's true.
But we kind of just threw this. I mean, we had a wok, we had a bamboo steamer, but really the whole thing is you just need water. You need something that's setting the plate up.
Or you can re-invert a plate on top.
Yeah, exactly. An upside down bowl.
Set the plate on top and then put a lid on top.
And as long as you can cover it, like you're golden.
This is gonna some steam's gonna escape, right?
Yeah.
So that'll help to not make sure that the fish becomes too like wet.
Dude, I think it's so good. So we'll steam that for 6 minutes, 5 minutes.
I think it's gonna take more like 10.
10 minutes. So fish is steaming. We're gonna take a quick break. Smoke a cig. Look at Lad Mag, and then we'll be right back. I don't know what that means. We're nearly ready with the fish.
Yep.
We're almost there. The hot oil over it, though. Do you do fresh? Do you put more herb or aromatics on top? Or
I'm going to cut some more green onion.
Okay.
And just put just basically green onion. I'm going to cut one more stalk, and that will just.
So it'll sizzle on top of there, and that oil, like perfume the oil, which will then sort of be the. If you think about the sauce as like a vinaigrette, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like
so you
the
got
oil, the fat component will get in there.
And then I'm just going to like.
Well, my daughter loves this exact steamed fish dish. And we make it, like I said, all the time too. I'm trying to turn them into real Chinese people.
I'm going to just quickly check with this palette knife. Yeah, see, you can see it here, Chris. If you go in there, it's ready, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it's going to be. And then also too, I would probably have it cooked a little less, but because it's a little guy, he doesn't want to see like opaque, sort of fleshy fish in there. So we're going to turn that off. I'm going to go with this asbestos hands. They used to be so. Oh, not anymore. There you go.
That was so hot. I didn't feel it. I can guarantee you that was so hot. All right, so scallion.
Scallion on top, just like so. And then the one thing that he loves, what we do is obviously the oil's going to be like smoking hot. He loves that.
Yeah, that's the best part, man.
Daddy, make it sizzle. Daddy, make it
I
sizzle.
remember that from my childhood. Let me get some rice too, man. Let me get some rice to eat this motherfucker. And then what?
And then you're going to...
Yes.
We just want to baste that as much as we can. We're kind of like making a dressing. You got the fish juices, you got the oil, and you just want to kind of emulsify it in a sense.
All right, so plate up exactly what you give him.
Yeah. So we always try to. He can just eat normal rice. He'll just eat rice and seaweed. So what I would do is probably that amount of rice for him.
Yep.
Which is a good amount. Then I would move this. I move the fish over, and then bring out some tofu. I'll put one piece of tofu for him, like so.
He's good with spring onions. He's good with everything.
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, like he'll just put it aside if he doesn't really want it, and then he always gets this part, the cheek, which is at the front of the head. I have to take off the scale because he's not down with this thing. But he knows, like, this little piece, I've always put on top of the tofu. So it sort of... And he loves that.
Get out of here, Dad.
He loves that.
This is some bullshit right here. This is some 21st century parenting right here, man.
And then he kind of likes the tail part. He's not deep. He doesn't like any belly. So I got to go down the middle.
I like the belly.
I like the belly too. That's where all the fat is.
Yeah.
And then I'll go across the top. And then I'll just give him like...
And this, like, scoring the fish makes this way easier.
Yeah, because then you can sort of like portion it out a little bit. And then he'll... That. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the sauce.
Yeah, that's the prize right there.
Now you've got fish foil, you got all your aromats, you got all your...
Dude.
And then that's it. And he you know, I'm not so precious about him not eating the scallion or the coriander or any of those things. I'm just happy for him to eat the rice and tofu and the fish flesh.
Well, I'm gonna be a Rio today because I get special piece today. I'm your son today.
You're Rio today.
I'm the boy now. Oh, dude, I got goosebumps.
I think there's nothing better than white rice
with the sauce.
Fish,
God, dude,
and like, you know, sometimes if he's not having it, I'll obviously put some gochugaru on top because or
a little
chili flake or something like that. But because I always think it's kind of cool, really nice. But gochugaru is really because it's kind of.
So I'm eating this like a for show version, but the truth that, like, you know, I'm gonna show you how, like, I would actually eat this at home. Like, if this were, like, you know this thing, right?
It's done.
They're so delicious, man. Holy cow.
I think if you put more pressure on your kids to eat, they're not going to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've kind of like, between his mum and I, we've created this sort of like symbiosis because we've got two different households where we both respect what he wants to do, but he has a time slot. And after that time slot, like my parents, if I didn't eat my dinner, they leave it in the fridge till the next day. I'm not going to do that to my kid. I'm not going to torment my kid like that. You know,
I think it's interesting, man, because, like, I mean, you're totally right. The whole conceit of this show is kind of like winning mealtime or fighting against the kids.
Exactly.
I say that like tongue in cheek because really, like, if you set up that dynamic, if you teach the kid that dinner time is a competition, they're always going to try to win.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Why would they want to lose?
No, that's it.
So like, dude, I'm so happy you made this. This is an incredibly important dish to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
to serve this to my family, to eat every Thursday for Rio.
Every Thursday.
I think it's like...
I get back to Australia on Thursday. He knows. Thursday I'm picking him up. He goes, "Are we having fish tonight, Daddy?" I said, "You better believe it, buddy."
That's like, oh my God, I'm going to tear up. That's like the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. So even if this is not part of, your family tradition or whatever, I still think that serving whole fish is a really cool, important thing
100%.
for any number of reasons, including the fact that this is obscenely delicious. So, Morgan, my brother,
thank you so much.
You saved me again. I haven't seen this guy in 5 years. I used to see this guy every 6 months or something.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in so long. But thank you for doing this with us, man. Like I said, could not have been a better person to show us how to make this. We'll talk to you all very soon on the next winning. Well, I will. This guy won't be here. Winning Mealtime.